Wow. It has been such a long time since I have created one of these videos about my internal landscape, but I feel really inspired to create this video because I recently had a really big experience that reminded me of something that I had seemingly forgot. And that is that pain, physical pain, emotional pain, sickness, suffering are all the gateway to our inner wisdom. The way that I was reminded of this was a very interesting series of events. I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and when I was talking to her and the whole day leading up to this call, I felt fantastic. I felt so healthy. I felt so well. I felt energized. I felt great. But as I was talking to her, I started mentioning a pattern that has been playing out in my life lately. And it's this limiting belief that I'm not capable. Logically, I know that I am capable, but the way that I behave in certain situations and certain things that I do are pointing to a deeper underlying unconscious belief that I'm not capable. And I was sharing this with my friend. And as I'm sharing this with her, I started experiencing some crazy symptoms. It started with experiencing some churning in my stomach, and I started to feel nauseous. And then all of a sudden it felt like all of the warmth in my body just completely left. And I was just shaking uncontrollably. I was just freezing. Oh my God. I told my friend, I have to go. I have to call you back another time. I'm all of a sudden not in a very good way. I hung up the phone with her and I jumped straight into the hot shower, and I had boiling hot water on my body. And I'm still so cold. I'm freezing. And I get out of the shower. I got into bed. I had the hot water bottle on my body, and I had a cold, wet towel on my face, covering my eyes. My head is so hot, my body is freezing. And then on top of that, I started experiencing this excruciating pain in my shoulder. It's like this shooting pain. It was really intense. Laying in bed, cold, wet towel on my face, hot water bottle on my body. I'm freezing, I'm hot, shoulders in pain. And Julian, he's concerned for me. He's like, do you want some painkillers? And it was at that moment that I had a realization. I was like, no, I want to do something that I haven't done in such a long time. And that is be present with the sensations in my body. And this was something that I used to do a lot. In recent year or two, I've just slowly lost touch with that practice. I used to say to my clients, that pain is the body's voice. It's how the body communicates with you. And when you're experiencing pain, it's your body, your wisdom, because your body is your unconscious mind. It's your intelligence. It's how that inner wisdom communicates to you. And often, in society, we're in this world where a lot of people try to run away from those sensations. They want to pop painkillers. They want to scroll on social media. They want to watch Netflix. They want to do whatever they can to get away from that sensation, to not be with it. When what's actually being asked for you is to lean in deeper to that sensation. Listen even deeper. Find out what that sensation is communicating to you. This sensation is the gateway to your inner wisdom. I love that the intelligence of my body was causing this crazy fever situation where my head was so hot that I had no choice but to put this cold, wet towel over my eyes. And I was so sound sensitive that I had to put earplugs into my ear, essentially forcing me into this sensation deprivation kind of situation, which forced me to go inwards and really investigate into what was going on internally. Whereas if I just popped a painkiller or something else, maybe the fever would have gone away and continue on as usual. And I would have missed the opportunity for what was about to be revealed to me. So I'm laying there, cold, wet towel on my face, hot water bottle in my body, earplugs in my ear, shooting pain in my shoulder. I shifted my awareness to the sensation in my shoulder. And what I did is I fine-tuned my awareness to the tip of where I was experiencing that sensation. And as I'm paying attention to this sensation, I'm describing it to myself. And the way that you can describe sensation is you can describe color, size, the quality of the sensation. Is it pulsating? Is it sharp? Is it dull? Is it tingly? Be mindful of describing it as pain, because pain is a label that comes with all these other connotations, past memories of pain, and that can actually create more discomfort just from that label and all the memories and associations that come with that. So I like to describe it as sensation, because when you describe it, you will realize it is just a sensation. I'm paying attention to the sensation and I'm describing it to myself. And it felt like a sharp electric shock moving down my arm, and it was like spreading tingles outwards. I continued to describe this sensation. The more I'm describing this sensation and the longer I'm with it, it feels like I'm actually sinking into this hypnotic, trance, psychedelic, altered state. And as I'm describing this sensation, something amazing happens. I start sinking into the deeper layers of my unconscious mind. The first layer is I start remembering just things that happened earlier that day. And then I go down a deeper layer in my subconscious. I start getting memories of just things that I've done like in the last week, and certain emotions that were niggly that I didn't really pay attention to, moments of guilt or moments of sadness that I just suppressed in that moment. And I would go down a deeper layer, and then I start seeing certain patterns that have been playing out that have been unconscious. So I start noticing, oh yeah, that has been happening. That's a bit interesting that I've been doing that. And then I go down a deeper layer. And then there's like more suppressed emotions that I didn't even know that I had. And then I go down a deeper layer. And then I see the pattern, the limiting belief of not believing I'm capable. And that's the point that I realized, oh, that's why all these symptoms were coming up when I was talking to my friend. I was talking about this pattern and my body was responding. So I'm with this pattern of me, this belief that I'm not capable. And I go even deeper. And I go deeper by continuing to describe the sensation in my shoulder. And I go down a deeper layer. And when I hit that deeper layer, a memory comes up. And this is a memory that has popped up in my mind every now and then again over the last few years, but it's not a memory that I've paid too much attention to. It's just kind of popped up every now and then. And the fact that it's popped up every now and then actually points to the significance of this memory. You have a reoccurring memory and you're just like, why does this memory keep coming up? It's such a random memory. It's often the case that your unconscious mind is bringing this memory to your awareness because there is something in this memory that you need to know now. There is something playing out in your life that is relevant to this memory, something that came from this memory, a belief, a fear, a trauma, like whatever it is. There is something in your life that's playing out, and this memory is pointing to that. So for me, this memory was when I was 12 years old, and my dad was teaching me how to catch public transport for the first time. I attempted to follow his instructions. And as I'm catching public transport, I came to a point where I got really lost. And I knew that I had to call my dad to tell him, but I was so afraid of how he was going to react. So I called him, and just as I expected at the time, he started screaming at me on the phone for not following the instructions, for not doing it right, for getting lost. And he gave me new instructions. By this point, I'm in this fight or flight response. So, he's giving me instructions, but I can't really hear the instructions because, I'm in this trauma response essentially. So I get off the phone with him and I do my best to follow his instructions. So I'm so afraid of getting it wrong again. But then I end up getting even more lost. And I'm just like, shit, I've got to call my dad and tell him that I'm even more lost now. And I call him. And then once again, he is screaming on the phone. I remember he was screaming so loud that the speaker on the phone was distorting, and I had to hold the phone away from my ear because it was hurting my ear. So I'm holding the phone from here. He's screaming at me. The phone's distorting, and he's screaming at me, "Stay where you are!" And so I'm like, okay. So I get off the phone, and I'm this 11-year-old in this tram stop, and I'm so scared about my dad because by this point he's coming to pick me up. And he comes and gets me, and I get in the car, And then once again, he's screaming at me, "You didn't follow instructions, why didn't you?" It was a scary, uncomfortable, horrible experience. And I just remember he drove me to his work, he stormed out of the car, he went to his work, and I'm sitting in the car crying, just bawling my eyes out. Most of all, I was just so upset, ashamed that I had made a mistake, that I didn't get it right. And in that moment, there's a core memory that's popped up in my mind every now and then, but I don't pay too much attention to it. It was a core memory where this trauma was embedded into my body. And my body has remembered this trauma. And it has echoed throughout my life in different situations where I believe I'm not capable. Now, it's important to say that everyone's doing the best they can with what they know. And I'm honestly not angry at my dad, because I do believe that the way that he parented was an upgrade from the parenting that he received. So I'm not angry at him, and I don't feel like I can, blame my parents. What I can do is I could recognize, okay, there's this thing that happened when I was a child. It's created this belief that has limited me throughout my life. I now have the awareness of it. Now I have the opportunity to heal it and reparent myself. I'm seeing this memory and I'm like, okay, now is my opportunity to reparent myself from this event. I basically give myself exactly what I didn't receive in that moment that I needed. And what I needed was love, compassion, patience. I imagined myself sitting with 11-year-old me, putting my arm over that little child and just telling that child, like, it's okay that you made a mistake. You're learning something new. Sometimes it takes a few times. You will get there. When I facilitated this inner child healing for myself, I felt this beautiful shift. It was like I was integrating this part of myself back into the whole. This part of me that had fragmented because it didn't feel good enough. It felt ashamed, and it was welcoming it back to the whole, being like, hey, it's okay. I love you. You're welcome here. It's okay to make mistakes. And so when I came out of this beautiful psychedelic, with no psychedelics, this is just accessing the body, like journeying into the body is just incredible. I just came out of that hypnotic experience, and I just felt, for one, like I said, I felt like this part of me was integrated back into the whole. And the second part was remembering the intelligence of the body, remembering that pain, suffering, uncomfortable experiences are the gateway to our inner wisdom. It's the gateway to our intelligence. It's a reminder to, when you're experiencing this discomfort in the body, rather than turning to social media scrolling, Netflix, painkillers, anything to distract yourself, use this as an opportunity to be present with the sensation in the body. Where are you feeling it? Close your eyes, describe it to yourself. How does it look, feel? What color is it? How big is it? What's the quality of the sensation? And continue to follow that sensation. The longer you're with it, the deeper you go, and the more you can access some gold nuggets in your subconscious mind and really uncover some things that are playing out in your life, and you can give yourself some inner healing, some reparenting wherever needed. It is important to mention that not everybody feels comfortable to be with those sensations for any amount of time, and that's totally okay. Everyone's at different points. It can take practice to be with these sensations for longer. Through the body is an incredible way to access this inner wisdom and have amazing healing for yourself.